The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Week in Week Studios, weekendweekbrewing.com. Breaking different. I'm Jeremy Greene, this Brian Haynes, this Tommy Bradley. And this is the Sportsocracy Morning Show, brought to you, as always, by Week in Week Brewing. First things first, we do need to address that we do not have Mr. Spencer here. He is going through a family thing. Our thoughts and prayers out to Tank. Thank you, everybody, man, for the kind words and all of those things. He will be back as soon as humanly possible, and we're hoping everything goes swimmingly, and thoughts with Tank and his family as they go through things.
We always want to make sure we take care of our own and we got their backs, and 100% that goes to their families and all of our extended families. Big shout out to Tank, and hopefully everything works out for his family.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, he's left us alone, which means the three of us are, we're going to do what we do best, which is screw with people and make jokes and things like that.
Yeah. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes. On today's show, we will be trolling the trolls. We've gone through our YouTube page, usually what we do on Wednesdays. We have brought it in for Thursday since we weren't here yesterday. And we've got some doozies.
Oh, my God.
I got called some names.
Woo-wee.
And I'm okay with that. You know, I woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror and I went, you're good enough, you're smart enough. Gosh darn it, people like you.
I got poked in the eye last night, so I needed to do some load management today, but got called in.
Yeah, by God.
We're gonna play through it, and we're just gonna hit threes, baby.
Yep.
Threes
Tommy showed up in sunglasses. LeBron James wishes he could have done that last night. Speaking of last night, the Lakers did exactly what I told you they were gonna do.
Yeah.
And now they made it a lot harder than they wanted to.
For sure.
Because that game was oh my God. Stephen Tell says the Sportsocracy with Jeremy Bryant and Ted Kaczynski. Where's the bell? Kevin Vick Memorial Bell. You're not wrong.
Boom.
That game was much closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. At halftime, I was starting to doubt. And then Golden State decided that the ball was lava and they didn't want to touch it anymore.
Yeah, the turnovers in the third quarter were abound for the Warriors. They weren't sure what they wanted to do. And then, you know, they just chipped away. Fourth quarter started to turn a little bit, and then LeBron just, you know, decided to shoot a 35-footer with 1.1 seconds on the 24-second clock, and it just happened to go in.
The Warriors, when Steph would go out of the game, they looked like they forgot what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like they were just there to hang out. He is the energy for the whole team.
Yeah, he sure is.
If he's not moving around, cutting on the back screens, getting open for threes, the rest of the offense, it feels like 97% of their offense is just finding ways to get him the ball on some kind of action. So when he's out of the game, they just look like they were not ready for anything.
For sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Steph and the Warriors thought that they were going to advance to play the Suns, and then LeBron really quickly told them, No. I mean, it's as predictable as it could have been. Here's the thing that blows my mind. I want to see how close either of the two of you can get.
Okay.
What are the odds on the Lakers-Suns series? One team is plus what? The other team is minus what?
Lakers are plus 500. I'm really bad at this.
You're way, way off.
I don't know this stuff. I'm really bad at it.
Tommy, you care to take a stab at?
Lakers plus 150.
His makes way more sense. The Lakers are minus 300.
I mean,
they're a minus 300 favorite against the Suns. That means you'd have to bet $300 to win 100 that they're going to win the series. The Suns are plus 270.
And one are 7 seed and one's a 2 seed.
And if they watch them play all year, is this just going off who they are?
Adam Black got it before I said it, so he gets a Kevin Vick Memorial Bell. That's insane to me. Yeah. I'm probably going to put a $100 on the Suns.
Yeah, I might as well.
Call me crazy. Wow. They've been the better team all freaking year.
Yeah.
Even before LeBron got hurt, they were still better.
Yeah.
And I understand this is their first time in the playoffs. I just have this funny feeling that Chris Paul's going to show up and go, oh, well.
This is my year.
He ain't got that many more years left.
Yeah.
This is one of the best teams he's ever had.
Yeah, they're young and they're ready to rock.
What did old Dennis Schroeder had 6 points? Well, let's see.
He was terrible. At halftime, LeBron,
12.
AD, and Anthony Davis were like a combined 4 of 31 from the floor or something like that.
So Schroeder went 3 of 14 and 1 of 6 from 3.
Yeah.
Chris Paul is going to be in his head the whole series. But, LeBron's going to LeBron. And LeBron, my guy. I've been rocking with him for a long time. I went to his first ever preseason game in the NBA. It was in Asheville, little known fact.
Oh, wow.
That is true.
Wow.
That is my guy. Said what's up to him, threw him up the deuces. And,
How old were you at that point?
2. I don't know.
Hot.
Yeah. But anyway, so my thing with LeBron, my guy, we know you're great. We know you're great. He has this chip on his shoulder from the first half of his career not getting the credit that he deserves. And it's only from talking heads. Real people that know basketball know he's an all-time great. There's no debate. He's a GOAT. He's in the top discussion as greatest player of all time. Why?
Well, there's only 2. It's him and Michael.
Yeah.
There's only one problem. There's a lot of people like me that wish he would do one thing. Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
He feels like he has to do his best Denzel every big game and
flop it all over the place.
He's already doing great things. If you were just watching the game and didn't see what LeBron does throughout a game, he's greatness, and everyone would see that. He doesn't have to put this extra sauce on it that he's playing blind and with a concussion and a broken leg, and that when he does something great, it's all this extra stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
No, you can just make a great shot over Steph.
Yeah.
You don't have to be seeing 3 rims and picking the one in the middle.
I saw 3 of them.
And I'm sure he's got to play through stuff, but everybody plays through stuff. Everyone gets banged up. And I feel like he literally just has this thing in the back of his mind that to get his respect, he has to do whatever great thing he's doing even twice as hard. So, and that turns people off to him. Watching him throughout a game. But he did win a championship off playing with Draymond Green's emotions. Yeah. So I think that was partially it. He was trying to see if I hold my eye for a little bit and get Draymond another flagrant, because he already had one earlier in the game.
Yep.
I can get him out of here, and I know it's a win. It's over.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
I think he was playing a little bit of those games, but I guess you can't blame him if it won him a championship.
Yeah.
In 2016.
And I'm looking forward to this series. I think that the Suns and the Lakers are going to be a lot better than most people think. I don't see it. I'm still probably picking Lakers in 6, but it's not going to be a sweep for sure at all. So I don't know.
So you're taking the Lakers in 6?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I'll take the Suns in 7.
Woo!
I will. I'll take the Suns in 7. I'll take them right now. I'll take them right now for anything anybody. Well, not anything anybody wants.
Yeah. Not everything.
Not all the things.
Not all the things.
I did have speaking of trolls, I did have a Bengals fan tell me he would bet me straight up that the Bengals were going to win more than one game. Yeah. Guess what my response was?
No.
No. That's a stupid bet for me.
Yeah.
Now, will I take the Vegas over/under? 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll bet my soul on that.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a minute. We missed this the night before. I don't really think we have to deep dive the Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs.
Memphis won. They play.
Yay!
They play the Warriors, and the NBA is really, really, really hoping that Steph and the Warriors come out with the victory, because they do not want to see Memphis and Utah. That freaking series will have the lowest ratings of any playoff series in the history of mankind. At least with the Warriors, they'll get about 4 viewers.
So I think we can skip past that and get to
Carolina's monster of the South. Second cousin to Mothra. Never lost to Godzilla.
Oh, man.
Never to the Zilla.
Poor Tommy. Poor Tommy.
I'm so tired of it. I'm fucking exhausted with this team, man.
Oh, God.
And the moment they really, that segment, this is the moment where they knew they fucked up.
Yeah.
When they were starting to become an expansion team, they were asking for suggestions on what to name the team and the color scheme.
Yeah.
Elementary school Tommy sent in a nice sketch, worked hard on it for a week, came up with my own team name, sent it into the Sports Illustrated guys that were doing the thing, and they didn't go with my choice.
What was yours?
I think it's the curse of it was the Carolina Cougars, because my elementary school was the Emma Cougars. It was a nice purple and teal scheme, which they ended up going back to anyway. So I think it's the curse of not picking my jersey.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end for him. I believe.
They got fucking house.
Frog stops.
And I am wearing Hornets colors today just to show my love for that team. Because
that's pretty on you.
It is pretty on me. Brings out my eyes.
No.
And the hate in my
and the hate in your heart. Brings out my eye color and the hate in my heart.
That team's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really give you a good explanation of what happened. Gordon Hayward being out's the primary thing.
Big surprise there.
I mean, stunner. You gave him that much money. You know he's constantly hurt.
Yep.
And you're shocked when he doesn't play in a playoff game.
And what's funny is that when the original, it was like a roller coaster ride for the Gordon Hayward hate, because it was like the beginning of the year, everybody's like, why would you give this guy all this money? And then they were playing well and he was playing well and everybody was like, oh wait, maybe he's playing that color. Oh, I kind of like Gordon Hayward, blah, 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 blah. And then this is what happens. Not to mention they have 467 point guards. No team needs that. They can't be win with a 5'10" point guard. It doesn't really seem like they have any sort of offensive flow, and their defense was just like, oh, you want to shoot a three? 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 And then, I mean, give it to Indiana for hitting every single one they shot. But, I mean, it was just really, really bad and really hard to watch. And the people saying, like, you know, oh, this is a good step for the Hornets. No, it's not. What are they going to do? They're not going to be any better next year. They played themselves out of a better pick. They should have just lost every game again. I just don't understand where they're going to go as a franchise.
Oh, I have a response to what you just said.
Yeah.
It is a step forward. It's 100% a step forward. You made it into the playoffs. You didn't really make it in the playoffs. By the way, they're still in the lottery, just so you know.
Well, yeah. Well, they didn't play out of the lottery. They played out of a... So I just think when they started losing...
Well, I disagree patently with what you just said.
Okay.
Because they were in the playoffs comfortably. They went on a slide at the end of the year when there was no Gordon Hayward, and teams, I think, had figured them out.
Yeah.
The question is, what do you do moving forward? I mean, would a lottery hit this year be a welcome thing? Absolutely. Yeah, if you're able to add somebody like Jonathan Kuminga or Cade Cunningham or a guy like that, absolutely. I don't look for that to happen. The percentages on it are very low.
Yeah.
This is my problem with the Hornets and what they've done for the past 15 plus years. Like, we know that stretch where they were drafting the Cody Zellers, the Adam Morrisons, all these guys. Frank Kaminsky. They were drafting the same player over and over. They had terrible years of drafting. But then after that, when you get in a better regime that knows what they're doing with, like, championship pedigree, all right, question for both of you. What is the one thing that you can do to build a championship contender as a small to mid-market team? Or what are the things that you should do to try to build a championship contender when you can't draw free agents?
Draft.
And trade off your trade off your assets for draft picks.
So it's drafting well and developing young talent.
Yeah.
They've got a coach that develops talent. Tree can really develop talent and like get the most out of these players. I mean, the Martin twins were at NC State?
Yeah.
Close to dog shit.
Yeah.
And he's got them playing good ball in the NBA. He turned Malik Monk's career around. He's doing all these things. But my problem with the front office has always been, and I said it before this season, Gordon Hayward getting $30 million a year doesn't take you to a championship.
No.
Does it get you more competitive? Yes. But they did the same thing with the Nick Batum contract. They make these marginal gains by giving money to whatever free agent will come there.
Yeah.
And that's not the way you build your team. And they hold on to players. Devontae Graham, we're not going to win a championship with Devontae Graham as our rotational closing game point guard. He's too small on defense, and he only shoots threes on offense.
But you're missing a point with Charlotte that Charlotte fans seem to miss quite often. You said that you compared Gordon Hayward to Bismack Biyombo or Nick Batum or whoever it was you just compared him to.
Nick Batum.
When a guy is willing to take the money in a market like this, you give it to them. You do. But you have to. You had that much money. Gordon Hayward's the first guy you've sniffed in years.
Can he be the best player on a championship team, though?
No, but you're missing the point. What are you going to do with the money? You're just going to sit on it?
No, so there was high upside young players that you can get to develop alongside LaMelo.
That you couldn't get here.
Like a Rashawn Holmes, a Harry Giles, getting a Gary Trent, any of these guys that are up and comers.
Well, Gary Trent was not a free agent.
Well, I know,
they couldn't have
traded out for him?
No. No, I mean, Portland wound up with a guy in Norman Powell that they believe in. That will be a restricted guy, and that's what they gave up for Gary Trent. However, the difference in talent between the guys you just said and Gordon Hayward is exponential. Can Gordon Hayward be the best player on a championship team? No. Can LaMelo ball? Maybe. But do the two of them with a third piece? You have to get lucky. That's how this works in a small market. You have to get lucky.
Right, but that was always my problem. I understand that we need to get more talent in there, and Gordon Hayward is a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player, and he did good things for Charlotte this year. My thing is they've done this thing where they've hovered around the 8th seed or worse every year.
Yeah.
But not bad. Last year, getting that number 3 overall pick, that was an incredibly lucky situation. We had a 6% chance of getting into the top 3 or something like that. The Hornets drafts before last year, and then in 2019 where they got P.J. Washington and Jalen McDaniels. Before that, they had the 12th pick the year they got P.J. Washington, then 11th when they picked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and traded him for Miles Bridges. Bold move, Cotton. The number 11 pick the year before that when they got Malik Monk, who had just decided to play in the last half of this season, his 5th season, when he's getting ready to be a free agent. And everything I'm hearing is that they want to retain him to be their 6th man when he hasn't played well at all for 4.5 years. And it really scares me when players play well in their contract year and have no track record of it beforehand. But before that 11 with Malik Monk, they had Malachi Richardson at 22, Frank Kaminsky at 9, Noah Vonleh at 9, and then Cody Zeller, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, all those picks where they missed on basically as a top 5 pick. So my thing is, the only way you build a championship contender is getting young talent, which means high draft picks, or you trade for multiple picks, trade your players that you know aren't going to stick around. They did the Kemba swap for Rozier, and I do like Terry Rozier, but I just feel like they never make mid-season trades to get picks, and that's the only way I see them getting a high enough ceiling, is getting one of the guys that this draft is deep. I would have rather them trade Malik Monk and Devontae Graham and whoever at the trade deadline, because they're not winning a championship this year, and get some high-end talent in this draft and start building that around LaMelo. And then you add the free agent once you're competing. But just adding a free agent to be around the 8th seed and not pick high, and know that with that current roster and with them taking so much of the cap where you can't sign other max guys, then I just don't see a path to a championship doing that. And we've tried that before.
Yeah.
Well, I patently disagree with damn near everything you just said. Because here's the thing. You're talking about getting higher up in the draft. Every other team in the NBA knows how deep this draft is. Have you noticed that there's not but one lottery pick out there? Of all 14 lottery picks, there's only one that could convey that could possibly be in the top 5. It's Minnesota. And it was what they sent out to Golden State to get D'Angelo Russell. And they would give their left testicle to get it back. They tried. Aggressively. Golden State told them to get pissed down the road. The problem with Charlotte is that when you get a guy like Gordon Hayward that's willing to take your money, you damn near have to do it. Same thing Milwaukee runs into, same thing that all of these small market teams run into. When you get a talent of that level, you have to give him the money. Now, you said what you said about being the 8th seed. I got news for you. They didn't plan on being the 8th seed. They're a year ahead of where they thought they were going to be. Because what they thought was going to happen, they were going to bring in Gordon Hayward. They could string him along, and then they were way better than they thought they were. And LaMelo was better right off the jump than they thought he would be. They thought they were going to be in the top 10 of this draft, looking at somebody like Evan Mobley or one of these big guys, because there's more big guys in this draft than you would think there are.
Evan Mobley's going in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure of that.
I think so.
I would take him at 2. I'm just not sold that he's going to. Big guys in the NBA, it's a discussion for another day.
He's different, though. He's
he is different, but so is, there are a lot of guys that we've said that about. We said that about James Wiseman, too. How'd that work out? And the more time goes on and the more things that happen, I just look at Evan Mobley right now and go, Jalen Suggs should go ahead of you. Cade Cunningham should go ahead of you. Then you get into Jalen Greene and Jonathan Kuminga, and how do you feel about them?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of part of it is that we haven't seen those guys because they decided to go to the G League, and that's part of the problem. They could be really, really good, and to be honest, I don't think I've seen them play one game, so I have no idea. That's
I haven't watched them play a G League game.
Part of a problem.
I watched them play in high school.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple. Yeah, they're young, they're inexperienced, but you can see the talent. Kuminga's 6'9" with some guard skills, can play good defense, block some shots, but I just
look at every small market team in the NBA that's good. One of y'all pull up the standings and just shoot me small market teams that are good.
I mean, Utah.
Okay, you got lucky with Donovan Mitchell. Mm-hmm. You added Mike Conley because you could. You could take on the money, so you did. You got lucky with Gobert.
They've got good player development as well. They get the most out of the Jordan Clarksons and these guys.
But think about it. They got lucky with Gobert because he was an international guy that a lot of people thought was never going to be a plus offensive player.
Right.
They put him in the perfect scheme, put him with Mike Conley, and Donovan Mitchell was a guy they were higher on than everybody else.
Right.
Oh, luck is 100%.
Yeah.
It's the only way a small market team can get good. That's it.
But there's
Milwaukee.
Giannis was they got super lucky with Giannis.
You got lucky with Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
See but that's my thing though. In the East, to win the East, you have to have somebody that can a rangy wing that can stay with the Kevin Durant's, the Jimmy Butlers, the Giannis Antetokounmpos. You need dogs on the wing that are high talent guys because no one's winning championships right now with just a great point guard or a great big man. It's the time of the rangy two-way wing where everybody can hit threes, everybody can spread the floor and play defense and switch. So I just don't see Gordon Hayward as that guy. I understand spending money on somebody that'll come there. And, they did do the offer sheet for Hayward. I know they were looking at him for a long time. But with his injury history, I just think that they would have been better served not spending that on him, going into this year with Miles Bridges starting at the 3 like they were. And maybe they don't make, the strides they made as far as, getting into the playoffs this year, but they would have a high pick. I just look at it and I would rather have one of those top guys, a Cade Cunningham, a Evan Mobley.
But you are never going to be that. Yeah, that's the point.
If
that's
Gordon
what you're
Hayward
missing.
wasn't there,
you're not that.
I mean,
you can tell me Gordon Hayward got shipped to fucking Mars. And when they played the Houston Rockets, they'd beat them by 30.
Yeah, Houston's
I
really
want
bad.
you to really look at how bad the teams at the bottom of this league are.
Houston,
Detroit, Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Orlando, and Minnesota are fucking G League teams.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
And Minnesota
if you're going to wipe here's the thing. It's not guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
There is a possibility that Sacramento, New Orleans, and the Washington Wizards end up with or the Indiana Pacers or the San Antonio Spurs end up with the lottery picks.
Yeah.
You almost can't do it that way. You have to get lucky, and you have to find guys. You have to find a guy like Chris Middleton, like Milwaukee did.
Yeah.
Who drafted Chris Middleton? I'll be shocked if either one of you know the answer to this.
Hold on.
I had forgotten it until I looked it up to have this.
I think the Bulls did,
was
didn't
he
they?
second round?
No, it wasn't.
He was
the Bulls.
the second rounder. Yes. Second rounder out of Texas A&M. It was the Detroit Pistons.
Oh wow.
They non-tendered him as a rookie. He played 27 games. Milwaukee went and found him because they liked him because he was so long. That's what you have to do as a small market team. Because these guys that have options are not signing up to play in Charlotte. I love Charlotte, but you're comparing it to LA and New York, all these big markets, and then places like Miami where you don't have any state tax. Charlotte's screwed because you have state tax and it's not the most alluring city to come to. So when you get a guy like, you said, can Gordon Hayward be the best player on a championship team? No. Can he be the 2? Absolutely. 100%. Now, you've got the guy that I think can eventually be the best player on a championship team in LaMelo. Now you got to find that other guy.
Yeah.
And you got to get lucky. You're either going to have to get lucky or you're going to have to find a guy that nobody else believes in.
Yeah.
And that's where Charlotte's at. But you have to remember how god-awful this roster was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I said 2 years ago it would be 5 years before they even competed for a playoff berth. Because you had Batum and Bismack Biyombo and all these horrendous contracts.
They're still paying $9 million a year for Batum.
Yep. But they're getting ready to get out from underneath it.
Yeah.
All of those bad cap decisions, you're getting ready to get out from underneath it. The biggest question, Adam Black asked me how many big markets are there? There are a lot. Dallas is considered a big market, and you have no state tax in Texas.
Chicago.
Houston's the same way. Chicago, L.A., New York.
Miami.
Boston.
Miami. Boston is and it's not. There are things about Boston.
Prestige.
Yeah, there is a tradition there, but they also don't have any money, and there's also been some less than fun things with their fans. If you don't know what I'm talking about, GTS, Google that shit.
Yeah, GTS. Yeah, I mean I just look at it some way. I guess sometimes I look at the things like when you talk about in the NFL, be good or be really bad.
But see, it doesn't work in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because you got the lottery and you could fuck yourself.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
true.
exactly like Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota has been god awful forever.
Yeah.
And what keeps happening?
Yeah.
The 1 year they get the number 1 pick, there's no star.
Yeah.
It's Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman. They got a star in Karl Anthony Towns, but he's a flawed star.
Yeah.
And then if you even so much as miss on a top 5 pick, you're screwed. Sacramento, same way. These teams have been bad forever. You know why? Because even if you get a high-end player, they don't stay.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is build a culture. And Charlotte has something that no other team has, and that's the greatest player of all time is their owner.
Yeah.
And you have to steer into that. If you don't, there's no allure here. And so, all right, you draft a guy like LaMelo. Somebody asked me earlier if I thought they could keep LaMelo. Yeah, because the league's incentivized it.
Yeah.
So when that 4-year rookie deal runs out, you'll make exponentially more in Charlotte than you would anywhere else.
Yeah.
Especially if you make an All-NBA team.
Everybody takes their rookie year extension for sure. I mean, I don't know if
pretty much because you would throw a lot of money back not to.
We got to do some things to be able to keep him after on a second contract.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is, and I completely understand what you're saying, and it's not that I think Gordon Hayward's a bad player, any of that stuff. I just think when you've got a young team that you're trying to develop and you need to get. You're not close to championship contention currently. Instead of spending that money on a Gordon Hayward, you try to get these reclamation projects that are younger, that are top 10 picks, like a Julius Randle,
Julius Randle is never coming to Charlotte.
I mean, when we're not even trying.
The point is you're looking at guys that aren't coming here. Yeah, you're trying to. You got one guy in Gordon Hayward that really likes the small town vibe. Charlotte's not an attraction. It's not. Charlotte, you're going to get guys that don't have other options. Name me the team that could come. All right, I'll give you Julius Randle for example. Well, the Knicks wound up with him in a. He's a good example of what you're trying to say, though. You have 2 options. You're either going to take the guy that nobody else wants, or you're going to have to overpay them. Gordon Hayward was not an overpay. The fact that anybody would say that's a myth. He's a max level player in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean
that's just the way it is. He's one of the top 30 players in the NBA.
They're handing out max contracts to just about anybody.
Gordon Hayward's in that 30 to 40 range of players in the NBA. You tell me another player in that range that you were getting in Charlotte. I'll wait. Yeah. It would have been somebody at the level of Fred VanVleet. That's who you could have theoretically got.
I know other
people would have matched it, but I would just steer into. There's talent coming out of the East Coast and the Carolinas. I would have thrown a max extension at Brandon Ingram just to see because he's from Kinston. I would have tried to
matched it.
I'm sure they would have. I'm just saying, there's things that they can do. There's talent that, I don't know why after the potential that Harry Giles showed last year, he loves it. North Carolina. He's from.
Oh, I'll tell you why. Because he couldn't defend this board sitting in front of me. But the reason he doesn't play the reason he barely plays for the Kings. That's not a reclamation project. He's flawed.
Well, he was playing well for the Trailblazers, and then he signed a $2 million deal. I think we could have signed him to more than $2 million to come to Charlotte.
But you wouldn't want to because he's a role piece in the NBA. See, this is the thing that always cracks me up when I hear people that I can tell your stat, and you're too worried about they're from Carolina or they went to Duke or that's what got you here in the first place. Where they went to college and where they're from doesn't mean dick to anybody. I mean, really think about this. The high-level competitive teams. Where's Chris Middleton from? I mean, I'm going to keep using the Bucks example because that's the closest in terms of market. Yes, it's a big market. No, it's not an alluring place to go. Yeah. And I hate to break it to you, look across every sport we have a professional team. The Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets are not attractive to free agents.
Right.
For the very reason that I told you. It's a double dip in tax, and it's not a high-end premium market. Mm-hmm. It's in that second tier with the Milwaukees and shit. Where's Chris Middleton
and not
from?
saying that we need to get just straight North Carolina prospects. I was just saying the way you said, free agents don't want to come to Charlotte, don't want to come to North Carolina. You've got to lean into what you've got, and you've got talent that's from North Carolina. You've got the best college basketball right there. I'm not saying obviously don't just get players from Carolina and do
that's not which is what Jordan did, by the way.
Right, he did, and it went terrible, and that's the years I was talking about that we did not draft well, and that's what set the franchise back. That's why we didn't have talent, and like you said 2 years ago, it looked like we were 5 years away from contention, and we did get lucky with the LaMelo thing, which sped things up, but I just think we've got to lean into the things that'll bring players there, and I think that is their connections to their hometown or their college basketball or whatever it is.
And Michael
because
Jordan.
There's high-end talent coming through North Carolina, whether they're from there or whether they go to college there. Some of the top players in the league are from there. So I just think I just want more potential on the team. I don't see a lot of guys that I can see being developed into championship pieces, and I think I've just seen so many years of being a Hornets fan where the roster doesn't look like it's going anywhere, doesn't look like, okay, if these guys' potential is all maxed out, they can end up as being championship pieces. I just haven't seen that in previous years.
Yeah.
And they've got it with LaMelo. I just don't know by the time they get all these other pieces that they need, or LaMelo's developed enough to be a player that can dominate the East enough to get to the finals, that Gordon Hayward's still going to be in his prime at that time. I just don't see this roster meshing the right way to actually really contend with the Nets and the Bucks and all these top-end teams in the East. I just don't see it.
You got to get lucky. You got to win something in the lottery. All right.
It's hard to bank on that.
That's about the most NBA talk you're ever going to get on this show.
Yep.
And that was actually fun. I enjoyed it.
It was.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
that.
Good times.
Yeah, we're not going to agree on every freaking thing that we say, guys, so it's going to be awesome, you know?
And it's almost time to...
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
One thing we do have to talk about is my expansion team.
Oh!
My idea is the St. Louis Sasquatch.
Yep.
I think it's a great name. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, with NFLDraft.net, something we're going to do is the 33rd team in the NFL. This will be my team. We'll do an expansion draft, and year over year, you'll see the players that I would take, and on and on and on. We got some great input. We're still looking for more names, but these are the current leaders in the clubhouse. The St. Louis Sasquatch, that's the name that I provided. Kevin Vick gave us the Kentucky Waterfall.
Yes.
Which is good, but I'm a big fan of alliteration and ties to West Virginia. So I changed it to the West Virginia Waterfalls. Both of those apparently would have a side profile of my face as the logo. Adam Harris gave us the Toledo Turtlenecks, as we all know that I'm a big fan of the turtleneck.
Yeah.
Tommy over here opined the Minneapolis Motorboaters.
Yes.
Zach Hurst gave us Team Gets Mine. That does make a lot lot of sense. I will say that.
And team
spelled with there's no I in team, but there is a me. It's the greatest. It's the ideal slogan. No I in team, but there is a me.
Yeah.
And then Lauren gave us Lafayette Lot Lizards.
Yes.
Lauren Yancey gave us Lafayette Lot Lizards, which I'm a big fan of. Those would be the current 6 leaders in the clubhouse.
Aren't we missing one? The Topeka freaking
the Topeka Tip Touchers. I have to give Patrick Holt credit. The Topeka Tip Touchers is. He
even made a freaking symbol and everything, dude.
Holt is a hero.
Okay, 100%. I don't disagree with you, but the objective is to get this picked up by somebody and grow the brand. And when you got 3 wieners that are touching each other in a Pittsburgh Steelers logo, I feel
we'd be huge in San Francisco.
I laugh. And Asheville. I laughed aggressively, and it's fantastic. I just, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I see nothing wrong. I don't
With a little bump and grind.
I don't either. I don't see anything wrong with it either.
I don't see nothing wrong.
In breaking news, Jeremy is scared of being canceled, guys, so we can't go with the Topeka Tip Touchers.
Oh, wait. Not true. Something that you will see put out from us later today I need you to understand this was my idea.
Later, we're not going to spoil it, but just be aware that sometime this afternoon, probably the funniest thing you're ever going to see is going to come out, brought to you by the Sportsocracy.
I had an idea. This morning. It made me laugh aggressively. And so we're going to make a public service announcement, and we're looking forward to it aggressively.
Yes,
it should be out hopefully sometime this afternoon. I got to figure out how to put all these things together.
Technology.
It's going to be.
It's going to be a lot of these guys and none of me because I don't know how to use technology.
It's going to be. It's going to be funny. But we're going to leave open the expansion team name ideas probably for another day. The objective would be that we can start doing these things next week, and I'm going to have to come up with a logo and all those things for this. Yeah. But I'm really excited about this idea.
Yeah.
We're going to have the expansion draft one day next week.
Okay.
So the concept is that every guy on the show that's not named me gets a division, and they are the GMs of those teams. I'm the GM of the 33rd team. It's going to allow me to explain things with the cap.
Yeah.
And guys that I really like in the draft. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It might not always work for Aniji, but we're going to try.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be real good.
So we'll nerd out a little bit.
Do what now?
Just going to nerd out a little bit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine.
I like to, there's very little I like more than drafting and being a football.
I can't wait to find out what players I'm going to drop from each team because their salary cap and how bad they are.
Well, you don't drop them, you expose them.
Oh, they're exposed.
Yeah, so you expose them in the in the expansion draft, of which I just realized that there's a lot of promotional material that could be used there. Every team has to expose 5 players.
Yeah.
I'm only allowed to take 2 from any one team. I don't have to take a player from anybody.
Yeah.
And there's no cap on how many players I take.
Okay.
Buddy, since we're such good friends, I've had this opportunity to, be on the show. I'm willing to give you J.J. Jansen from the Panthers as your long snapper.
I'm going to pass.
You're welcome.
I'm going to pass on that. Now that you've got one that you drafted.
And I'll give you Kelvin Benjamin from the New York Giants. He's all over it. He's going to take fatty McFattersons.
I think you're going to regret that choice, actually.
Yeah.
He's going to be a hell of a tight end for Jeremy's team.
Well, there's that.
Gordo KB.
I believe it is. I believe it's time.
Oh my God, this is my favorite part.
I believe it's time. But first, we have to do this. Be sure to log into monkeyknifefight.com. Use our promo code TANK, T-A-N-K. These are our new DFS partner, daily fantasy prop bets. This is an easy way if you're not into the DraftKings and things like that. I'll be putting out a video later of my picks on Monkey Knife Fight and my DFS picks for the PGA Championship. For those of you that don't know, I did finish in the top 20 of a major not that long ago on DraftKings.
He's pretty good at picking golfers.
I'm pretty swift at golf. I'm decent at basketball. I'm pretty good at the NBA, or decent at the NBA, pretty good at the NFL. Golf is my home run swing.
Yep.
So I get to be nerdy McNerd pants for a little bit. So I figured I would throw out a promo for monkeyknifefight.com. They'll match your initial investment up to $50 and give you a free $5 ticket for use in any contest, including their contest for the PGA Championship this weekend. Promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, at monkeyknifefight.com. Mr. Spencer.
Promos!
How'd that make you feel, Mr. Spencer?
Promos!
Looks like we made it! Yes! I finally did one of those. I'm notorious for, hey, these things make us money, and I forget them aggressively. All right, it's time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Our first one, and I figure we have to start aggressively.
Troll Patrol!
With the Troll Patrol. You're going to notice a very Midwestern theme to these trolls because a lot of them pull for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
This one comes to us from Cade Jenkins, and he's responding to when I asked, name me who the Cincinnati Bengals could beat, because I got a lot of shit for my 1-16 on the Bengals. First of all, I need you to understand that we had 5 guys on this staff that all, with no communication, predicted the Bengals. We came up with 6 wins total.
Well, I did have them winning 5.
Oh, well, okay, it was 4 minus drunk Brian over here, who had more wins by himself than the other 4 of us had put together.
Yeah, well.
You're too high on the Bengals. And if one more person says, Vegas has them at 6.5 wins.
I don't care.
Yeah, do you know how many teams are behind them?
Yeah, not very many.
Want to take a guess?
2?
It's 2.
Yeah, 2 teams.
It's the Eagles, or it's the Lions and the
Texans. Yeah,
they're tied with the Eagles, Jets, and Eagles, Jets,
Texans,
Jaguars. Yep.
Yep.
So before you give me that Vegas has them at 6.5 thing, you should probably look at. Well, you do realize that there's going to be a team with 2 wins.
Yeah. Here we go.
Only 2 behind you, according to Vegas.
Yep.
So from Cade Jenkins to who could they beat? The Vikings.
Nope.
Wait, I'm going to need this. The Vikings, the Bears, the Steelers, the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
He says without Rodgers, not happening. Rodgers is playing
It's
the
not
champ.
happening. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if they don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
The Lions,
Maybe.
the Jets. Here's one that I'm actually going to have to let the whole buzzer go. Split with the Browns.
Wow.
Not even close. The Raiders, you know what? I'm in a given mood. I'll give you that. And the Chargers.
Oh, and by the way, you're a clown.
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 The Vikings aren't good.
What, do I amuse you?
Here's his breaking analysis. The Vikings aren't good. Wrong. Bears offense is rough. True, but their defense will kill Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
The Steelers aren't good. Fake news.
Yeah.
The Jaguars will have to figure things out. I agree with that. That's why I
Yeah.
said you could beat them.
Yeah.
Jets don't know if Wilson's the answer.
Yes, they do.
Again, you could be right. Might not have it sorted out by then.
They know he's the answer. He's going to be playing.
They
just don't know how
almost
good he's
beat
gonna
the
be.
Browns, but got insanely unlucky. That was last year, bruh.
Yeah.
You are not going to touch the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They will beat you by 30.
Uh-huh.
And that's only if they don't feel like beating you by 50, because if they do, they will. Lost to the Chargers because of a PI call and a missed field goal. And that was with Anthony Lynn as their head coach. He's not there anymore. They will slaughter you.
Yeah, they're going to be real good this year.
The impetus for our PSA later today is Bengals fans.
Yeah.
So Bengals fans, if you hate me and you want to talk about me in your little subreddit, I'm going to give you something else to talk about.
They call it Midwest Jeremy.
Hey,
for a reason.
Remind me again, how many playoff wins did the Cincinnati Bengals have in the last 25 years? Yeah. Stop it, shut up, and move on. You just don't know. We're here to have a good time, talk about it. This is what we think is going to happen. I get all these people like, oh, we're going to come back and talk to you.
Oh, I love the ones that say, I'll be back I'll remember this and I'll be back to tell you how wrong you
and
are.
they're going to win 3 games.
So
and
when
they're
you're
gonna come
3 and
back.
14, you're going to come talk shit?
I told you we were going to win more than 1 game.
That's the most Bengalsy shit I've ever heard in my life.
God. Get out of your parents' basement. Get some sunlight. You know, go have fun.
I'll be back to talk shit when we're 4 and 13.
Do you know what Bengals fans do when they win a Super Bowl?
What do they do?
Cut off the PlayStation.
I was about to say, who the fuck would know?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of delusional fan bases,
we got to get the woo 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 thing in there.
Oh,
we got
wait.
that. We can't miss
Oh,
that.
There it is.
Troll Patrol! Troll Patrol.
Yeah, here's another fan base that's made me laugh. The
Oh
Chicago
my God,
Bears.
Tom.
We
Me
love
and
Tom.
We love Tom.
Tom.
Yeah, Tom
We
and
go way back.
Tom
My
and,
namesake.
Tom and Tommy over here. They have a fun relationship.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
It's borne out over Facebook and all the social medias. Tom loves us.
And he's super objective. about it.
100%. So let's see what old Tom has to say today. These national guys know nothing about the Bears. The McCaskies never fire anyone during the season. This draft bought both Nagy and Pace another 2 seasons, which is the length of their contracts. This year will determine the timing of any contract extensions. They may have to wait until midseason 2020 to see if they're back in 2023. If this season isn't a struggle, it very well could be. Let me address this in chunks.
Tommy.
You've never fired a coach in season. Cool. Bill Belichick had never drafted a quarterback in the first round. Just happened. Shit changes.
Yeah.
Apparently everywhere but Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
In the last 30 years, how many winning seasons do the Bears have? In 30 years! Not winning seasons. How many 10-win seasons do they have in 30 years?
Can you count it on 2
7.
hands?
It's 6.
Okay.
How many playoff appearances do they have? In 30 years!
5.
7.
7.
They've been in the playoffs 7 times in 30 years.
Yeah.
So spare me the bullshit on, we don't ever do that. That's not the Bears' way.
Yeah.
You're right. You know what the Bears' way is? 6 and 10. And you can't do that anymore because there's 17 games.
Yeah.
So the times they are changing, Tom.
And guess what? Mike Ditka ain't walking through that door right there. He ain't coming in. You know what I mean? You got the sausage, you got the Ditka, you got the Bears.
So here's the question. The Bears go into week 8 at 2 and 6.
Yeah.
Who gets fired? Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, or both?
I'm going to go with both there, man.
I'm going to go with both there, Bob.
Yeah. Listen, First and foremost, Matt Nagy does not want to start Justin Fields week 1. I guarantee you, I will tell you that right now. He wants Andy Dalton to be the starter week 1, and he would rather prefer that Andy Dalton start the entire year. He doesn't want to see a rookie go in there because he wants to win as many games as you're going to get. But guess what? This is not going to be a season where anybody playing quarterback is going to make the playoffs for the Bears. This is a different Bears team than they had in the past. They don't have anybody weapons-wise. They don't know what they're doing offensively. Matt Nagy is not the offensive genius that everybody thought he was. Guess what? It's Andy Reid. It's not Matt Nagy. It's not Eric Bieniemy. It's Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. These guys don't know what they're doing necessarily. They know how to expand from an Andy Reid offense and make him look good. He's had years to do this. It's not going to work out very, very well. I understand that you Bears fans have this idea that, our defense is so good and we re-signed Allen Robinson, who doesn't want to be there.
Nope.
He doesn't want to be there. And you got Darnell Mooney, which I like. David Montgomery is not that good. Do you know when he was good? When you had Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback when they were doing RPOs. Guess what Andy Dalton's not going to do?
Well, you can still do that with Justin Fields.
But he's not going to play, though. Justin Fields isn't going to play.
I don't buy that. I don't buy it. The more time goes on, I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you a dirty little secret, and this is something that's been told to me by damn near every media source I have. Uh-huh. When you hear nothing but positives about somebody, you should listen.
Oh, yeah?
Because the team in the off-season program, the team controls the narrative.
Oh, the sources.
So all of the things that come out, it's because they want you to know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody decided to question my sources that they kept putting in.
And they were like,
quotation.
the sources. Like, actual.
Yeah, dumbass. One of them that actually works for your team.
Sources.
Was that the Kramer parody account? That was great.
No, that was a Bears fan too.
Yeah.
The sources. Yeah, he actually works for your team.
Yeah. He's like, who are these guys that you're talking to? Guys about speed dial. Actually, yeah, they call him pretty much all day, every fucking day.
But I'm sure I can't remember that guy's name. I was going to throw it out there. I wanted to give him a little notoriety.
Oh God, I can find it.
Spicy hot take.
I can find it.
But yeah, I do have a source there that says Matt Nagy almost got fired last year.
Yeah.
And if this starts slowly, he will get fired this year.
Yep.
So they will not give him any more time to fuck up Justin Fields than he earns.
Mm-hmm. So they were 8-8 last year, correct?
Last year?
Yeah.
They were 9-7.
9-7. They made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
I thought they were 8-8. Either way.
Oh, they were 8-8. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think they were 8-8. And then what did they – so they won like 3 games towards the end of the season when they put Trubisky back in.
Yep.
So they were 8-8, won 3 games towards the end of the season. The quarterback that won them the 3 games at the end of the season that looked like they had a little bit of momentum, they got rid of in Trubisky. They brought in 2 new quarterbacks in Andy Dalton and Justin Fields that neither one know the offense. And then
they still
lost,
have Nick Foles under at $25 million a year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play or not. But and then they lost an all-pro in the back end. So didn't add a lot, lost their all-pro corner, and then lost the quarterback that got them 3 of their 8 wins at the end of the season. And they think they're going to be better.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the division got better.
Yeah.
They lost a couple of key pieces, and they think that they can win 9-10 games in this division.
Well, the Lions didn't get any better, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel better about them.
Well, I feel better about them going forward, but I don't know.
I mean, even last year, it was just such a mess. At least they have a vision. They've got they've got a coach that knows what they're doing. Like, I'd be more scared to play them this year than I was last year, even though they're not better.
Yeah. That's very true, actually.
They got no favors from the schedule. I totally forgot they went. I thought I had 9-7 in my head for some reason. Speaking of Bears fans,
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
this
That's
one
my
comes
favorite.
to us from. Oh, I lost my spot. Where'd it go? There it is. James Casanelli. He's also a Bears fan. I bet he's got a spicy. Are you guys the Three Stooges or what? How long have the Bears been in the NFL? 100 years? In all that time, they've never, ever fired a coach during the season. Never. Typical ESPN East Coast garbage. Do your damn homework. We'll see we do. That's kind of the thing. James, we do our homework. That's why you watch us and we don't watch you.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I think that's how that works.
I love hearing like people that obviously have never watched film.
Oh, I
tell
found
people
it.
that have watched film to do their homework.
Yeah. Oh, Day.
That was the name of the one that called me. What did he say?
He said, "Oh, what beat writer you got on speed dial?" And he's like, "Ha ha ha!" And then Jeremy's like, "Several of them actually working for ESPN Radio kind of does that." And he's like, "At the Sportsocracy, oh, the sources."
Yeah.
Stop it, Day. Jesus.
It took me 5 minutes to figure out it was Day.
If you wanted to sound like it's spelled right.
Anyway, I had to throw this out there just because they ended with "do your damn homework."
Yeah.
Okay.
We do stuff around here.
You know what? No, actually, you know what we do? We sit around here for 8 hours a day talking about what we're going to eat for lunch, and then every once in a while we'll throw up a little. Yeah, we just come together and go, yeah, let's just talk about
Hey, let's talk a little sports. We'll just do this.
Let's talk about some shit. We do 3 hours of content a day.
Yeah.
That's not in addition to the extra content that we put out. So famously put by Tommy yesterday on our social media, we've put out more content than a single mom on OnlyFans.
Hardworking.
Oh, and by the way, Jeremy's feeling really good after his mall colonoscopy. He's cleaned out and ready to rock.
Sitting on a donut. Feel pretty good.
Get checked out, fellas.
Everything's good, don't worry. Now we can suitcase more things.
Correct. All right, this one's a twofer.
Uh-oh. We got a twofer?
And it's also a...
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I've learned that the only reasonable Jacksonville Jaguars fan that I've ever met is Roy.
Right.
I've never actually met him.
Yeah.
Hashtag we love you, Roy. I don't mean to constantly bash your team, but the other fans of your team are really, really annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
From David Griswold, he's just pissed his team didn't get Trevor Lawrence. Duel.
Yeah.
Did he just challenge you to a duel?
I think so. I think it's pistols and dawn.
He pulled out a glove and slapped him across the face.
Or is it maybe possible that he meant Duval?
Yes.
Which is that thing that they say all the time.
Yeah.
Like
But
David
he
Duval?
forgot to hit the V key, and he went duel. So
Yeah.
Using V's look very similar.
I
You're just
mean-
missing a curve.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he misspelled his own catchphrase. I love how Kevin Vick said that.
Yeah.
You want to know what we go through on a daily basis?
Yeah.
It's this right here.
Yeah.
That.
Yep.
And there's a lot of good, and I've got a good one coming.
Yep.
We have to have the good, but the bad is just way fucking funnier. And then from Baron Grover, who sounds like a Muppets character if he was a royal. Ha! How convenient that the Jets go 9-8. I promise this won't age well. You can take to the bank 5+ wins.
For Jacksonville? 5+ wins. I had them winning 4, and I was the highest by far on our whole panel.
By a lot.
By a lot.
By a whole lot.
Oh wow. That's dumb, and you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you. We get a lot of enjoyment out of these.
Yeah.
Tommy even makes friends with people.
Yeah.
Tommy will get into an argument with you, and by the end of it, he'll tell you he loves you.
Yeah.
They told me they love me. And
We
I
actually
made it look
had that.
bad.
We
Yeah.
had that happen earlier this week.
Yeah.
Tommy told the guy he looked like Diamond Dallas Page, which he did. And by the end of it, the guy said,
Wait.
I love you.
He said he looks like Diamond Dallas Page moved to Florida, became a woman's hairdresser.
Yeah. We like trolling trolls.
Bang!
Brought him to the dark side. He's now a subscriber.
He's now a subscriber.
Roasted him so hard. He's now a subscriber.
Yeah. We love those kind of guys. Oh, God.
Got a little friends become enemies? Enemies become friends?
Yes.
But I do love what these comments that we get on the team-by-team breakdowns. People that obviously only watch their team comment and tell us how stupid we are and how we don't do the research.
You know what they really think? That's what they really think.
No, wait.
Don't! All right, we got one more.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got 2 more.
2 more.
We got 2 more. just realized that Patrick Holt said said fun fact, you've never seen DDP and Dog the Bounty Hunter in the same room. He's not wrong. And this one is a...
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
This is the last one of those. The last one's nice.
Yeah.
Are you guys high? Depending on which video you watched, it's entirely possible.
On life.
I'm high on life. You can take that to mean what you want to. Our O-line is good enough. Our offense will be ridiculous, barring injuries. Our defense is far better. 5 R's. The Bengals will win 7 to 10 games this year. Wake up.
Stay woke.
Stay woke, Jeremy.
I'm going to go with a aggressive. No, they're not.
No.
I love when people say "wake up" or call me a clown. Basically, anything that follows ...
Yeah.
is going to be something that's going to make me laugh.
Yeah.
I figured that out over time.
Wake up. We get up pretty early to come and bring you guys the news. Every single day. Not the news, but our takes on
Yeah,
sports.
we don't bring you the news.
Yeah.
Although we are going to start bringing you
Yes.
the news next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to be in all shop for all kinds of stuff
We
around
got
here.
new shit.
Yeah.
You'll actually see one of our new shits on our PSA.
Yeah.
It will be released later today. I'll give you a hint. It has a really sad song behind it.
Yeah.
All right, one last one. Oh, wrong button. Oops. Switch the buttons there. And Brian, this one comes from your imitation fake favorite team.
Oh, is that the Go Chargers? Go!
I really only did that to hear him do that.
Yeah.
And this was actually addressed to me. And just on the off chance that Richard Peterson sees this, I needed him to hear that you do the better Arnold than I do.
Yeah.
I'm a Bolts fan, 38 years, and I really think this is the most I've felt excited about my Chargers in a while. With 2018 being unexpected and great Arnold imitation, by the way. I have my Bolts around 11-6 or 12-5. Be honest, I'm concerned about the pass rush, but I feel like our offense will be unreal. Might take a couple games for the new line to gel, but then we're off and running. That is a reasonable take.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
It might take a couple games. There's some negative in there.
Yeah.
Because not everything is just hunky-dunky.
No, your team's not going undefeated and going to the Super Bowl.
No.
Nobody's team is.
And here's the thing. We did a whole exercise where we picked the win-loss record for every team. There was another one that I couldn't find where, and I think this was on our Facebook, where some guy said, they have a full playoff bracket and it's 4 months before the season even starts. How stupid will these shows get?
Yeah.
What do you want us to talk about?
I mean, yeah.
You want us to break down the Carolina Hurricanes? Armchair, I was not addressing that at you.
Yeah,
because
Canes.
I know your answer. And I would love to if I understood your sport even that much.
All you need to know is the Cubs coming to Raleigh this year. That's all you need to know.
And I'm okay with that. And I would love to get in the building if it does. But my question, and this is one of the reasons that we do this little exercise, is we're asking you for content.
Yeah.
And we're opening up all these channels as we figure them out. There's a lot of things that go into this. So you're going to be the one driving the content.
Right.
And you know what? Let's play a fun game. In the comments right now, everyone listening to the sound of my voice, put in the comments what content you're going to ask for when all those portals are opened. You can do it with just a 3-letter acronym if you would like to.
Yep.
And it might rhyme with CFL.
And that's the thing people don't understand. We've got a lot of fans that enjoy seeing the lines, knowing what teams are doing, because people bet year round.
Yeah.
So we've got people that get early odds as soon as the schedule's dropped, and they're like, hey, guys, we want to hear what, like, we know how you feel about these teams right now after the offseason, the draft, all those things. after the schedule's released, now how do you feel about them? Does that change their win-loss record before I go put my bets in? It's content that people ask for, enjoy getting the input on, and we enjoy getting the input back. If you think we're wrong on something, if you think we're over or under on your team schedule, just let us know. And we'll go into it, look back through it. We probably won't change it because we already do our own homework beforehand. But we enjoy all that stuff, and people are looking for that, like our opinion on the schedule and how that changes teams' records. And there's a reason that we do everything we do. We're not just in here throwing stuff at the wall. There's a reason for it.
Yes. Kevin Vick said the Lingerie Football League, we're all in on that. I can't wait to break down that for
Jeremy
sure.
is a starting quarterback in the Lingerie Football League.
Wow. That ain't success.
That has not been brought out in a while. That's awesome right there.
Very nice.
I like you. Do you like me? Patrick Holt said he got season tickets for the Charlotte Football Club, so next season he's making me, Tank, and Brian come down for a game.
Yeah.
In. We're all the way in.
I'm excited about the Charlotte Football Club.
We're working on being very mobile for this when there are a lot of games. So you can see us in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Including some places where they allow you to make wagers and things.
Yeah. We're going to be live from Topeka as the Tip Touchers go live.
Oh, yeah. Whatever city it is that we finally select, we're 100% making a journey there.
Oh, we got to do it, and we'll just pick some random Walmart parking lot and go big on it.
Yeah, which is why no cities in Ohio will be considered because Jeremy might not make it back.
They have pictures of him surrounding every entrance into Ohio, and it says shoot on sight.
Immediately shoot on sight.
Midwest Germ.
So be sure to subscribe and follow the Sportsocracy on all the social medias. Be sure to click the little thumbs up button underneath these videos. That helps more people see our content. We want to grow as many people and have as many new friends as humanly possible. It made me feel real warm and fuzzy yesterday how many people asked where we were. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Those are the things that make the damn sun rise.
Sometimes in a man's work week, he's just got to go get his butt checked out at the mall.
Yeah.
You know? Things happen.
Things happen, man.
A little tube. A little tube.
It's really crazy that a freaking Hot Wheels came flowing right back out. I couldn't believe it. It's been in there for like 15 years.
Wheels were still spinning.
Oh, man.
It was weird.
God.
This has been fun. This has been fun.
It's always a good time.
We got to come up with a name for the three of us when we're allowed to do this together because it's kind of rare.
We made it through the whole episode and got canceled in the last 10 seconds. So
Hot. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at JGreenESPN. Brian Haynes is at B Sportsocracy. We are still auctioning off the ability to change Brian's Twitter handle. If you're interested in that, be sure to send me a message at JGreenESPN.
Yeah.
The more vulgar and the more embarrassing it is, the better.
The higher bidder. I don't care.
And Tommy Bradley at Tommy Knows Stuff, which is one of my favorite Twitter handles of all time.
Yeah.
As always, we've been brought to you by Wicked Wheat Brewing. We are live from the Wicked Wheat Studios. WickedWheatBrewing.com. Drink different. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for content later on in the day. We'll be putting out our off-season grades starting today. For teams in the NFL, we'll be doing about 2 of those a day. This is going to take a little bit of time because these are a little more in-depth. If you have a team that you want to see early, be sure to get it to me. We're basically going to do these in the order of fans that actually watch that. We changed up how we're going to do this. We're not doing it in draft order. We're not doing it in projected finish order or anything like that. The people that watch our show, we want to do your teams first. And we'll get them out there for you. So be sure to just send me a message, whether it's on Facebook or on Twitter at JGreenESPN. For Brian Haynes and Tommy Bradley, I'm Jeremy Greene. This has been the Sportsocracy, as always, brought to you by Wicked Wheat Brewing. WickedWheatBrewing.com. Drink different.